Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here for another video. Today, I wanted to show you a specific piece I've been working on. It's the first time I've done multimedia in a long time, and I am really excited to share this piece with you guys and share the wisdoms that have come through in this piece and the healing. So, if you're new to my channel, hello, nice to meet you, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Hiba, and I make content around spirituality. I make meditations, soul language transmissions, and I also create channeled art pieces encoded with wisdoms and just divine frequencies of my own soul and of whatever is coming through at that time. So if you're interested in any of that, maybe consider following the channel, but regardless, thank you for being here. Now I'll get right into the video and talk about the background inspo for this piece. I myself sometimes struggle with what I can only describe as black and white thinking, and that black and white thinking makes it really hard to coalesce the parts of me that feel really good about humanity, that love humanity more than anything, that is so happy to be a human, that would never choose to be anything but a human, and the part of me that sees the, for lack of better words, the genuine evil in the world and doesn't know how to love humanity when humanity is capable of such darkness and such just vile things. I was having a hard time kind of connecting those two things as coexisting realities without one canceling out the other. It was really hard for me to understand that we are both. Especially when it came to myself, I didn't like to think about me in that same way as someone with a large frequency range who has done good things and bad. So this piece came about me trying to understand how I can love humanity, how we can love humanity, despite the darkness that exists within us. As humans, we have a really, really wide frequency range, and I just wanted to understand why that was and how it is in line with a larger, higher truth when you zoom out from the personal aspects of it, when you zoom out from your personal egoic reactions to it. I decided that the best way to find the answer to this question was to get out of my head, to stop ruminating about it, because that's where the ego can really take control, like when you're really having intense emotions about something. It's okay to have those emotions, but if you want an answer, it will be harder to find it when your ego already has full reign over your mind. So, for me, I thought the best way I can channel right now in the state I'm in is by making art, doing something physical, because doing something physical satisfies the part in my brain that needs to solve the problem, that needs to do something and fix the problem, while also getting me out of my head and more present with my body, more present with my intuition, and that deeper, more wise part of myself that exists within and below my brain, away from my ego and my ruminating thoughts. So this art piece was created as an investigation to a solution to my trouble understanding how I can not think black and whitely about humanity and either love it or hate it, either love myself or hate myself. I love making art because it is a way to answer questions and to channel down wisdom in a way that words cannot. Making art like this is healing from the inside out, and it helps bring meaning to the words coming through from my guides that my brain will immediately try and fight. But when you're not trying to put words together and you're just trying to feel, it allows you to feel the wisdoms before you kind of intellectually understand them, which in my opinion is how you truly understand a lesson. You have to feel it first. You can hear it first, you can intellectualize it first, but that understanding won't come together until you fully surrender to the feeling aspect, the intuitive aspect, and sinking out of that brain. While channeling, two things came through specifically. I saw two organ systems, each with two hearts, and the color spectrum of frequency. I knew that I wanted the guttural feeling of ripping up cardboard when I made this piece, for that kind of visceral effect just while I was making it, and so that energy would carry through into the piece. What I used was mostly trash, just like cardboard and like other boxes and things like that, but using some shiny materials as accents. Felt like the cardboard and the rougher materials mixed with the shiny, maybe more a little expensive materials kind of contrasted the profane and the divine that I was trying to coalesce in this piece. The two hearts that I have here represent the highs and lows of the human experience and how they are tethered together as a part of a whole. These are not separate fighting entities against each other. These are not separate frequencies. The lows and the highs are two expressions of the same frequency, just on different ends. I will credit my friend John Binney for putting it in those words, because I don't think he could have been more right. What I was having trouble with was seeing how the lows of frequency are directly related to the highs and interconnected, and how you cannot have one without the other. The two hearts here represented a heart in heaven and a heart in hell, where I feel like I'm being split in two as I am how do I explain this? I can really see the darkness in things. I can really sink down low. Even my dreams are often very gory. Like they are spiritual and they have messages for me, but the messages are so visceral, so gory. It feels like I have two hearts. One that's like wants to do good and be good, and the other that's full of pain and rage and almost like the judge, jury, and executioner. Which in this case isn't the highest frequency, let's say. This feeling of being ripped apart, I wanted to kind of heal by adding kind of like tethered lines between each set of organs, between each heart, showing that these frequencies are interconnected because they are both integral to the human experience specifically. I'm sure other lives as well, but the human experience is so dramatic, I have to say. Perhaps not every human's experience, but we are really, I will say it, emotional creatures, and we experience things very intensely a lot of the times, because things, when they're good, they're great, and when they're bad, it's just beyond words, beyond understanding of how bad it can get. Here, through this part of the piece, I was really connecting with the idea that you cannot have one without the other, because both of them are part of the same frequency range, as I've said, but also the reason we incarnate onto this planet is to learn lessons. We cannot learn lessons and experience the light without moving through the dark, and that is the point. The idea that there is only good and only bad is completely an illusion. It's not real, because oneness, that entire idea to me, is about accepting all of it, connecting to all of it, not turning your eye away from that truth. Here, at this point in the video, I am finally painting the symbol that I've been working with. It is an eye. Akin to the Eye of Ra. It's a symbol one of my guides is teaching me, and I have a bit of a bastardized version in this piece, as I didn't really have enough space. But the reason I put this here and it's right above you can't see it yet, but it's right above the color frequency that I'll have there. Is because true awakening is awareness of it all. The good, the bad, the hurtful, the ugly, the beautiful, the divine, the elated, the constant, and the temporary. We are such contrasting beings because true wisdom is only found through the experience of all. The widest range of experience breeds the highest wisdom. That is the purpose. And that is, I think, the higher truth that was really wanting to come through in this piece and to be highlighted. And for me, it helped a lot. I felt a lot better making this piece because I feel like I understood what was being said to me through spirit a lot better and in a lot more intimate of a way than if I just tried to sit there and meditate it. But yeah, that's the wisdom coming through from this piece. And other than that, I'll just explain some of the additional details that you will see coming through in this piece, which is using that kind of shiny, some trash, but also some like shiny tape to make a color frequency showing the range of existence. And on each side of the top two panels, I had literally from my notes, me writing down my emotions about it, about how I don't know how two things can be true at once in such a drastic way. And it was very raw. It was just my raw emotions at that time. And truthfully, I never want anyone to read it or see it or understand it because it's like so vulnerable. And when you write something in your notes when you're really upset and then you look at it later and you're like, oh my fucking God, that is crazy. and then maybe you delete it just so no one can ever see that, so you don't have to see it again. That's kind of what those notes felt like for me, but I felt like that visceral touch would be so good and so healing, at least for me, in that piece. So what I do is I write it in red with my handwriting, and luckily my handwriting is like completely ununderstandable. It's like, it looks like gibberish. It's just not good handwriting. I have terrible handwriting. I have doctor's handwriting. So I wrote that, and then I just kind of ripped up the cardboard, like the surface of it, to reveal some of like the texture underneath, because I really love the texture of the cardboard underneath, and also added more like shiny bits, almost like, I don't want to say tumors, but yeah, I wanted it to feel like a bit of an infection, a divinely placed infection over the words, almost like a healing balm, but also maybe like a boil you put a band-aid on or something like that. I don't think you put band-aids on boils, but I hope you understand what I mean. But yeah, that's my piece. I will show you a photo of it now, the finished product. Please let me know what you think in the comments if you have any thoughts. And once again, thank you so much for being here, for watching the video all the way through, to listening to what I have to say. I hope this piece has touched you in some way, or at least looks cool to you. And I hope any of the wisdoms that came through are supportive to you in your journey. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on the planet at this time, of course. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.